Yeah guys, welcome back. Okay, today we are going to start actually hands-on coding. Okay, we will go step by step. We will do the front end and then the back end. This will probably not be covered in a single video. It will be many videos. Okay, because there is a lot to learn. Slowly we are going to learn slowly, and some of the places there is self-learning also involved. So I'm not going to teach you everything, kind of handheld, but I'll try to cover as much as possible, give you something to work on so that you can actually google around and try and learn by yourself, because when you try, make a mistake and learn, it stays for longer than I give you an ideal scenario, you do a code and then it works, and then you try on your own, it never works. So this is how we all have learned over years. In my experience, that's how I have learned in the past 20 years. You have to try, you have to fall, you have to get up, and you have to run. Okay, this is just a kind of a guidance video where you will get to know where to start and how to go forward. Okay, so if you want more help on this, you can always put a comment on the below in the video one, so that I can help you with those things. Okay, so I'll monitor them and then I'm gonna help you how to go about. If you want, if you have some feedback, yes, we can do some videos, because this is a very depth. Okay, you have today businesses running on teaching coding, which runs into millions and billions. Okay, so that's how big the area is. Okay, so but yes, let me try to help you out as much as possible. Okay, so we will start with the front end. The front end basically consists of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Any front end as such will have these in this form, in a basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript form, or it could be in a libraries already built, could be Bootstrap, could be React, could be, there are a lot of libraries, electron.js. So there are libraries which people have built around so that the coding becomes very easy and faster. But I believe you learn this, you can always work on that. If you learn that, coming back to this and then relearning, it becomes a bit of a difficulty, because there you might have something which you would have used because there's an API built on JavaScript, and then when you have to use the basic JavaScript, you don't know how to use it because you have already always worked on modules that were built upon this but never on this. Okay, so it's like learning high level. There are low level programs like C and Java and these kind of things, and there are a lot of languages built on that like Python and so on, but they do the work. But if you want to go write a program, a Python programmer wants to go and write a program in C, it takes him quite a bit of learning to do. Okay, so instead you learn the low level languages and then come up, it becomes easier for you actually to work, but it may not be efficient or fast. But yes, it from a developer's experience, it works out well, but from a customer's experience who wants application to be built in 15 days or 20 days or a month or 2 months, it becomes difficult, because you are reinventing things when you start doing things in low level programming languages. Okay, anyways, that's another topic. Let's come back. So we are going to see HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I'm going to take you through part by part. Okay, so that you get an understanding of how they are. So what is HTML? HTML is basically hypertext markup language. What is it? It is just a combination of elements and tags. What is an element? We are going to see. Each of the elements, we will have attributes and properties. An element, for example, I will say a button is an element. An image could be an element. An input box where you type in your username, password or the search, it's an element. Okay, it's all built in already. It's only thing how you order and how you place it, what makes the UI. Okay, and then there is two important things apart from these, which every element you need to have ideally. Yes, if you are programming the way it should be programmed, are class and IDs. Okay, a class defines the style. For example, an input box you have where you type in the username. Some people might have it wide, some people might have it short ones, some people might have a bigger height, some people might have it blue, green, red buttons. So all these are defined in classes. Rather, it is defined in styles, and then we combine the styles, and then so that it can be reused. So if your website is based on a blue theme, so every button is blue or something like that, so instead of specifying the style in every button, you all define it as a class and put the class in the element. An ID is the identity of an element. So when you dynamically work on any of the pages, so ID plays a big role, because ID will be identity and it is unique. So every web page can only have a given ID, only once specified. So let's say ID is equal to some XYZ. Okay, let's say ID is equal to my photo. So my photo ID is unique in the entire page. Nowhere you can replicate it again. You cannot give another ID as my photo. So we will see it as we go on. So these are some things you need to understand. Okay, so this is the basics. Okay, now as we learn, as we do and learn, you will learn more. So that's where we are going to go now. So what I am going to do is I am going to go back to what we are going to do. We are going to just try to put an HTML that looks like your Facebook page, okay, which looks like this. Okay, let me give you some idea on what things are in the Facebook page so that you will know. So here, what is this? This is basically nothing but a Facebook logo. It could be an image ideally, or it could be a rounded button with F written on it, text. That could also be option. So this is a tag. Okay, so it could be a button tag or an image tag. So this is a box where we type in something. So this is something that takes in an input. So we call this as an input tag. So these are all clickable, right? So if I click, it will go to that part. If I hover on this, you will see in the bottom it shows me something, right? Facebook friends, Facebook watch. These are all, these could be a button again, or it could be what we call as a href, or reference to something else, that is referenced by a tag. Okay, so a tag. So this could be a tag which is a button or a tag. Okay, now this entire thing, similarly we have a lot of these are all styled, and you see icons here, right? So these are all I tag. We can use a tag called I to put icons. You get already ready-made icons for all this. All that is that you have to import them and put it here. Okay, one great place to find icons is Font Awesome. Okay, we will do it when we come to that part. So Font Awesome has all these icons. All that you have to do is you have to put that in this particular tag, I want to see this icon. You will start seeing the icon. Okay, so all these are there. Some of the icons, yes, you can, if you want, you can build, but all commonly used icons are already there. So you don't have to break your head much on that. So, and this part we call it as the nav bar. The first bar top where we navigate through your website or your application is called the nav bar. So the first thing is the navigation bar. Okay, and then on the right side here, this can be the bottom one. See, you will see every website will definitely have a nav bar. The rest of the items you can style it as you want. Okay, that's okay. So every website can have it. So this is the way Facebook looks. So if you see, it is actually, let's take nav bar is one part of the entire page. Okay, then there is another part of the page which is the right side, left side list, a list of some things. Again, these are all a tags probably, where you will see all these. If you click, it will go to that particular section or that particular page, or it could be even a different application. So that's possible. And then you have the main, where you see the Facebook posts. So this is the main section, and here we have some ads. So they say sponsored ads. So what is this sponsored ads? Basically because they have created a section where anybody who wants to put an ad can put an ad, and then Facebook gets paid for showing this ad as well as click basis. So it could vary. Okay, and then I have my pages and all those things. So I'll call this the right list, the left list, the post, and the nav bar. Okay, there are 4 sections in this page. Okay, correct. So let's try to build this. Okay, before building, I will go back to my drive, okay, or a file system, whatever you want to call. Okay, so I have created now a project called my HTML project. in which I have made a folder called static. What is static? Static is all HTML, CSS and JavaScript files are static files normally. Okay, because they are static, they don't change, they remain the same. The data inside it will be dynamic. Okay, so we call them static. Okay, now I can have a HTML page here. I can also, normally what we do is we also can create folders for CSS where I will store my CSS, and then I will have a page called JS. These are standard, but it's not that you have to follow them. You can do it as you want. Even pages you can actually put it in a folder, say HTML folder. So you can do one HTML here, static HTML file, but I will keep it simpler. So now this is your structure of your folder. So ideally static files are rendered or given to you by your web server. So on your domain, okay, you have something called as pages. So web server which will deliver all the static pages, and your actual application will run on an application server. So that's how it is. So application based on, it could be Java based application server, Tomcat, JBoss or whatever, or it could be Python based application servers, or like Django, Flask, these kind of a thing. So there are multiple frameworks which are available. You can use any one of those. Okay, so based on how you want to proceed the development with. Okay, this is how. Or it could be PHP, or there are, as I have told in my previous videos, you could have somewhere some applications where your HTML and your actual code will be merged into one. In that case also it can be delivered by your application server. But if you actually do it as a three tier architecture, web server delivers static pages, application server delivers APIs or rather your application, and then you have the data server which is responsible for storing, rendering and data analysis, whatever you want to do with. So this is my HTML page. Okay, so here there is something, when you're working with development, it's always good to have a editor. So text editor, for example, I cannot develop an application using Word. Okay, I can probably, but that's a different kind of an application, but not these kind. So I have an application called Sublime. So I always use this. Okay, so this is an editor. Using editors makes it easier for you to format your pages. So that's how it is. So that's why I use Sublime. You can even use text editor. Okay, now this is for a different application. Okay, just let me open my open folder. Let me open the folder itself. See, you can see everything is in a different color, right? So this becomes easier. Okay, so this is for my video conferencing app. I will just change it to what was it, my project D:, yeah, this is the one. I'll open this. So that folder gets opened. I'll close this part. So I'll go to static. This is my page. So my HTML page is empty. So the first and most important tag in a HTML page is HTML. So every tag has two parts, the start part and the end part. Now I don't have to type the end part. I will just put this much. It will automatically take. So my tab Control S will save it. Okay, now I have this. Okay, now I am going to see now what happens the moment there is a parent tag and a child tag. So that's how we do it. So everything is once. So now what, let me go back to the Facebook. This entire page is in the HTML tag. Okay, in which the children could be, the navbar is one child, the left side is another child, and the middle one is another. So there could be a parent child relationship, but in general that's how it is. You could have multiple children. Okay, for example, in this I have one child which shows the photos, I have one child which shows this part, and there is something else. I have this child, within this I have so many. So it could be that it can go deeper and deeper. Okay, so let's now go back. So I will put what is basically needed for this page to show up. Okay, so I have an HTML. In this I have two main tags, the head tag, okay, and the body tag. So there are two tags, okay, Control S. So the way using this is it automatically indents. So you once you look at the page, it looks good. Okay, otherwise it's all a haphazard and it looks the same way, all those things. Okay, and also we use something very important which we call as commenting. Every code you should have comment. So I am going to put some ABCDE. What is a comment? Comment is basically where I write why this line of code exists, so that I tomorrow when I go back and say I remember why it is. You might have 100 HTML pages or so much of code in any application. It need not be HTML. It could be JavaScript, Python, C. We always put comments so that when we go back we know what the logic was and why it was put. Okay, so I am going to put a comment here. So how do I put a comment? So easy, in this editor I will type something. I will press control forward slash, it will make it a comment. So this comment will not come in your page. So when I render this page, I will not see this SASSD. I will make it something. This is my body. Okay, so this will not come in your page, but when I read the code I will see it. So I will save it now. It is done. So there is a head and there is a body. Now let's open this page and see how it comes. How do I open? There are two ways. Either I click new and go to that path, or I just go here. Since it's .html, it knows that it has to use a browser to open it. I'll double click, it will open. So I have a page here which is empty because there is no content. So if you want some content, okay, I will type something here in the body, save it. So I got the content. So this is how your page looks. Now I have a problem. Okay, I have to tab, go back, come here multiple times, right? So how many times, if this is a very big and complex page, how many times are you going to go big and for? Two things you can do. One, minimize this, put it side by side, and then you start doing. That's one way. Okay, another way I'm going to tell you, which is very good. Okay, because you don't have to. So all that you have to do, if it is a control, if it's a Chrome, you have to press Control Shift I. Okay, you get a window. This is called the developer window. Here you will see a lot of information about any website. So if I want, let's assume I want to see the code of this, Control Shift I. Okay, now I will see, now I am get something. Okay, they have sold stop, blah blah blah, this is intended blah blah blah. They are trying to prevent us from. That's okay, that's not for a non-developer, that's for a non-developer. For you guys, all that you have to do is click this. So there is in your Apple, if you are using a Mac Air or Mac OS, you have to press Command Alt and C. That will bring up this window, and here you see this, right? So this in a Mac would be a different icon which looks like a what do you say, target. You know, when you practice the shooting or something, you get a target, right, with round, with a plus, similar sign will be there. So that's what will be there on your Mac OS, Safari browser, rather I would say Safari. So now I'll click this, I'll come here, see, you see something is happening. So this is nothing but, if let's say I am going to come here and click, okay, so what happens? See, I see the code, I see the HTML code of this page. So it has been HTML ID, class, language, dir, what is the head, what is the body. So all those things are there. Actually, so many of these are actually what? Dynamically generated. Okay. Okay, some of these will be dynamically generated. And if you see here, it says logout.php. right? Where is the logout.php? Somewhere here there is a logout.php. So basically if you see this, now I know this application could be using PHP also. Okay, PHP is a programming language. So there is so much of information that you can get from here. Okay, and then there is a lot of things. Okay, there is script. So script means basically JavaScripts. Okay, you could refer to a file, pull information. Okay, from the refer to it could refer to a file, or you could directly have your script bit put in here. So both can be. See here you see scripts, they are all referring to some script somewhere else. .js is a JavaScript file. So that is it. So this is how you can see. So now we will not dig into Facebook code. I don't want that. So we are developing our own ones. Okay, this is how you should work. This is just for an information on how it goes around. Okay, let's close this. Okay, now I'll come back. So now I have, now how do I see my page? I'll click here, go back, this is my page, correct? So I have typed something, it came. So what I will do now is I'm going to edit here directly. I can do edit element. So I'll remove this, I'll do enter. So I have removed, it went. So this is dynamic, you can edit and see the results immediately. You don't have to switch, save and all those things. This can be done when you're doing development locally on your machine, but definitely not on a server, because the moment now this I have done the change, but it is not saved. Now if I refresh this, okay, ideally it is still picking up from the cache, so it is not. So I'll hold this, I'll say empty cache and reload. So the ideally what happens is this will actually vanish. Okay, let's see here. So now it's gone because it's updating, but when you do it on a server it doesn't work this way. So here I can do it. So I can just do the changes here, but I prefer you, if you want to do, you actually do all the changes, copy this entire HTML, go to here, all you can do is you will say edit HTML, copy the entire stuff, Control C or right click, select all, right click, copy and paste it here and save it, so that it's good, it's always good. Okay, now this is my page, this is my head. So here I see the name of the page. Okay, let's start with changing this. Let's say I will want to make it as some title I want to give. So I'll go edit HTML, I'll just edit the head part. I'm going to give, there is a tag called title. Okay, so this is the title. So what title do you want to give here? Let's say my first HTML page, right? So this is your title. So now you have given a title. It's okay, it's next page, that's okay, that it still is. Yeah, now I got my first HTML page. Now Facebook gets an icon here, but I get something. Why? Okay, so what I'll just go to the network. Okay, I'll just refresh this page. Okay, now the changes are gone, right? Because it is not updated. That's why we have to always update. The moment you refresh, it will go off. Okay, so now, but what we will do is, I'll tell you what has to be done. We will redo this, edit HTML. I will put my title. So it is done. Now I will do my first test. Now I am coming back to this globe. This globe is something we call as favicon. Favicon. So we can create a image, any image, and rename it to favicon.ico and put it in the same location as your HTML page. Next time it loads, it will put your favicon image here instead of this. Okay, so this is the basics of your HTML. We will go in deep, okay, so in the next video. So till then, goodbye.